Hello everyone! Today we're going to be answering the question, how do mammals live in water? So to start off, what exactly is a mammal? A mammal is a warm-blooded animal with a backbone that breathes air and has at least some hair on its body at some point during its life. The females have mammary glands that produce milk, in which they can feed to their young. This is also the group that human beings belong to as well. Did you know that there are more than 4,000 different species of mammals? The smallest would be the hog-nosed bat, which weighs 0.5 ounces, which is roughly the size of a bumblebee, and is the only flying mammal. The largest is the blue whale, which can be 100 feet long and weigh 150 tons. They are found in almost all parts of the world, whether that's in the tropics, the Arctic, the rainforests, or the deserts. Whether they live on land or in water, all these mammals share some of the same common characteristics. So to start off, all mammals are vertebrates, which mean they have a backbone or a spine. Second, they are endothermic, which also means they are warm-blooded. Endothermic animals regulate their own body temperature, which allows them to live in almost any climate on the earth. The third is that all mammals have hair on their bodies. The fourth is that all mammals produce milk to feed to their babies. This allows them to spend more time with their young so that they are able to teach them important life skills so they can survive on their own. So now I'm going to show you some examples of some of my mammal friends that I have found. And as you will see, all these animals live on the land and not in the water. The first friend is a rhino. The second is a lion. The third is a bear. The fourth is a koala bear. The fifth is a monkey. The sixth is a chipmunk. The seventh is a giraffe. And the eighth is the big elephant. So now to the question, how do mammals live in water? Did you know that there are also marine mammals? Well, marine mammals have the same characteristics as all other mammals, but they have adapted to living in all or just part of the ocean. They are distinctive in their appearance and their survival strategies. There are 5 groups of marine mammals. The first would be the pinnipeds, which include seals, sea lions, and walruses. The second are the cetaceans, which are whales, dolphins, and porpoises. The third are the sea otters. The fourth are the sirens, which are also called manatees. And the fifth are the polar bears. So back to the pinnipeds. Seals have ear holes, but no external ear flaps. They also have small front flippers and move on land by flopping along on their bellies. At sea, they move their rear flippers back and forth like a fish's tail to propel themselves through the water. Sea lions have external ear flaps. Their front flippers are large, and on land they are able to bring all 4 flippers underneath their bodies and walk on them. In the water, they swim using their front flippers like oars. Fur seals have long flippers and thicker coats than sea lions. Walruses have no external ears, but like sea lions, they can rotate their hind flippers forward. Both males and females have tusks and vacuum like mouths for sucking up shellfish from the ocean floor. They have air sacs in their neck that can inflate to allow them to float as if they were wearing life preservers. So now that you've seen the pinnipeds, we're going to move on to the second group, which are the cetaceans, which include whales, dolphins, and porpoises. Although whales spend all their time in the ocean, they are mammals just like us. This means they are also warm-blooded, give birth to live young, and nurse their young, have traces of hair or fur, and must come to the surface to breathe air through their lungs. A long time ago, the ancestors of whales lived on land. Scientists believe that land ancestors looked like small dogs, but were probably more closely related to hippos and went into the ocean about 60 million years ago. Over time, these ancestors adapted to survive solely in the ocean environment. Their front legs turned into paddle-shaped flippers they lost their back legs, their tails grew larger and widened to form flukes, and they developed a thick layer of fat called blubber to keep them warm in the ocean. Also, their skulls elongated and the nostrils shifted to the top of their heads, which are also called blowholes, to aid them in breathing at the ocean's surface. They developed a series of adaptations related to diving, which include the ability to store oxygen in their blood and muscles and have more blood volume relative to their body size than land mammals. Now I'm going to show you the third group, which consists of sea otters. Sea otters have the thickest fur of any mammal. Their fur actually consists of two layers, an undercoat and longer guard hairs. This system traps a layer of air next to their skin so their skin does not get wet. Sea otters inhabit shallow coastal areas and prefer places with kelp. The kelp acts as an anchor that the sea otters use to wrap themselves when they are resting. Sea otters are one of the few animals to use tools. They eat animals with shells, like clams and albain, and use a stone to break open the shells. When sea otters are underwater searching for food, they store what they have found in loose skin folds in their armpits. Adult sea otters can eat 25 to 30% of their body weight in one day. So now I'm going to show you the fourth group, which are the sirens, or also called manatees. Manatees only eat seagrasses and other aquatic vegetation. Unlike other marine mammals, manatees have a low metabolism and zero tolerance for cold water. Just like dolphins and whales, manatees are totally aquatic animals, meaning they will never leave the water, not even to give birth. So this means that they are restricted to warm, shallow coastal waters and rivers with healthy ecosystems that have lots of grass and other vegetation. So now I'm going to show you the fifth and final group of marine mammals, which are the polar bears. Polar bears, or the sea bear, has adapted for survival in the Arctic in areas where they hunt seals. Ice is a must. Polar bears depend on ice for access to their main prey. Polar bears' lives are a cycle of feasting and fasting. When hunting is good, polar bears eat only sea animals. They can eat 100 pounds of blubber in a single sitting. In the summer, when ice floats, some polar bears follow the ice, sometimes traveling hundreds of miles to stay with their food source. Polar bears are strong swimmers and divers, an adaptation that allows them to swim from one ice floe to the next. Sea ice losses from climate change, however, are testing the limits of that ability, forcing the bears to embark on longer and longer swims in search of sea ice. So in order to help these marvelous creatures keep warm in the ocean, most of them depend on a thick layer of blubber or fat. They have streamlined bodies to help them swim faster. Many species can stay underwater for a long time, but most have to come to the surface to breathe. To be able to stay under the water for long periods, they store oxygen in their muscles and their blood. They also have more blood than land mammals in proportion to their body sizes, which can direct the blood flow to only their vital organs, such as their heart and lungs. And this can also slow their heartbeat down so that they are using less and less oxygen. I hope this answered your all's question. Thanks for listening.